I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. It truly felt like Toriyama. It had everything. I think if you're a fan of all aspects of Dragon Ball and you're a fan of Toriyama Akira's work, this series had it all. It had the gags, it had the comedy, it had the adventure, it had the epic fighting, the epic transformation moments. It truly felt like everything that makes Dragon Ball what it is, it was put in here. And you had so many references to the entire Dragon Ball franchise, the 40th anniversary special. So I really enjoyed it. And like I said, I kind of see it as its own continuity, separate from Dragon Ball Super, which makes it more enjoyable. So I'm not thinking about how it ties into Super, and just looking at it as the series itself. If you do try to do the Dragon Ball Super series and try to and turn it into something that does get more confusing, and that's where it can be very frustrating. So that's why I would recommend don't go into it trying to link it up to Dragon Ball Super until we get notes from Akira Toriyama that he left behind, or Akira Yoku comes out to say something in an interview, or Toyotaro makes something within the continuation of Dragon Ball Super that kind of explains and piece these things together. But on its own, separately, I like Dragon Ball Daima, definitely, which is ironically what I said about Dragon Ball GT. I don't like it nearly nowhere near as much as Dragon Ball Z, and even to a lower extent Dragon Ball Super. But nonetheless, I do enjoy the series though overall. So I did have a blast with Daima. The series though did have, I think, some pacing issues where you only had 20 episodes, and I don't think they utilize all 20 episodes as best as they could. Was it episode 13 where they had the big giants? Though I enjoyed that episode and it was fun, and it definitely had some of that Toriyama adventure to it, and it paid tribute to the scene in GT when they had the giants. When we were coming up close towards the end of the Dragon Ball series, it's kind of like one of those things where, does it really make sense to spend all your time here when we only got so many episodes left to tell the grand final battle? And even when you get to the Demon Round 1, I felt like so much time was wasted on that episode. Was it like 14 and 15 where they're going SS1, and it's taking them forever to basically go through and beat these guys, when okay, you just power up and get it done with and be done right there. We can be getting to the final battle there. So it's like, yeah. Like I said, I kind of thought the villains, Degasu and Gomah, they weren't that really Degasu, I didn't find I wanted Degasu to be more compelling as a villain, but I don't think he ended up being there. Gomah was hilarious and stuff. I don't think he was a boring villain or anything like that. Especially he was kind of like tribute to Emperor Pilaf mixed with Babidi. But my thing is, I do wish we would have gotten more from Gomah's power before the third eye. Other than that though, as a villain, he was really stupid, and he was designed to be stupid, but yeah, he's not gonna go down as one of the most iconic villains in the entire franchise, that's for sure. But the fight will be even the big final finale fight, as good as the animation was, I don't think it was on the level of Goku versus Jiren or or Gogeta versus Broly, because those were more big back and forth epic battles. The choreography, I thought it could have been a little bit more. This more felt like Goku at SS4 just going ham, but I thought it was one of the best moments of Goku going all out fighting. Was definitely amazing on that time. But yeah, overall though, I did enjoy Dragon Ball Diamond. I think it's a much better binge watch. I definitely plan with the English dub, once they're done in May, to go back and watch it in a binge style to see just how much better the whole series is when you're able to watch it one episode after the other and stuff, instead of like 1 week and stuff. So yeah, but overall, I'll definitely do a more full review, hopefully with my friends when they're done watching Dragon Ball Daima, so we can get more in-depth thoughts. But just overall final thoughts, I thought Dragon Ball Daima was a great show, the best animated series of any Dragon Ball series, and it's fun. I think it's a fun, nice alternative Dragon Ball post Majin Buu story, basically, that's different than Super, and it's enjoyable. could have been used. I think they could have used their time a little bit better, and that's dependent. Toriyama wrote the story, he did the character designs, and then the animators had to take that. The animators did their thing, but the writers had to take that of the show and try to put it all together. So did they do that effectively based on Toriyama's story? Who knows? I know Toriyama supervised some of the early episodes, but unfortunately the show was still in production when he did pass away. And I think that's the really sad thing about this, is that Toriyama didn't get to see it himself, and he was so involved. He was more involved in this than any other Dragon Ball anime series ever. So it is unfortunate that he didn't get to see it, but I hope his spirit can see that, despite ups and downs, I think for the most part fans did enjoy it. I mean, Dragon Ball DAIMA still was a huge success, and they're going to sell a ton of merchandise for sure on it. So it definitely brought success to the Dragon Ball series, even in 2024/2025. And one thing that it goes, I think Toriyama, writing wise, was the best, going back to the OG stuff, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, the manga. That was, I think, hands down like his best work and stuff, especially when he had the editors to push him. But when it comes to the series overall, I was gonna say, when it comes to Daima, his creativity, that's the biggest thing. And this is what I've always said about Toriyama's work, even with there's some plot holes and inconsistencies. The creativity of Toriyama is fantastic, and I think it's one of the reasons why so many people gravitate Dragon Ball, and many fans like myself that are hardcore fans. As much as we love the Dragon Ball series, there are things where we can overlook it just because Toriyama's creativity is just so amazing. Like it's truly amazing, his creativity. And I hope moving forward with Dragon Ball is Toyotaro, who was his successor now, if he continues Dragon Ball Super, I'm really hoping that Toyotaro is able to really keep the spirit of Toriyama's creativity alive in Dragon Ball moving forward. And we'll see what happens with Dragon Ball moving forward, because they really haven't said anything over the last year and stuff like that. I know in the manga they did like another prequel and stuff like that. So yeah, I also want to say thank you all so much who have been on this journey of me reviewing the Dragon Ball DAIMA episodes. It took sometimes, especially on these long action episodes, days, a day or two sometimes, to get nearly 1,000 something screenshots together and putting that all together and stuff like that. But Dragon Ball DAIMA has been a huge success for my YouTube channel. When I started Dragon Ball DAIMA, the first episode review, I was like a little over 5,000, just hit over 5,000 subscribers, and now I'm almost 7,000 subscribers, and that's from the streams and cutting up the streams and putting them into individual long form videos, and then taking these and putting them into individual YouTube shorts that were like sometimes 50 to 80 something individual shorts. Like the whole Dragon Ball DAIMA content has really helped grow my channel, and I definitely have more Dragon Ball content to come, because I love this series, and I want to continue basically showing my respect and to Akira Toriyama's legacy, and sharing that with all of you fellow Dragon Ball fans out there.